don't feel like reading anymore. I've just brought my dinglies to their grands, to their daddy's house for their sleepover. This may be the only sleepover of the year, and I thought I would attempt my very first 24-hour reading challenge. I am going to try and do it a full straight 24 hours. I don't even know if it's possible for me to stay up for 24 hours anymore, but I'll give it a go. It's my first one. I don't really know if there are any hard and fast rules other than you read for 24 hours. I don't know if I'm going to continue reading books I've already started or whether I'll just do purely new, unstarted books I just haven't started reading at all, so that I can see how many books I can read as well. So I've got, at the moment, I've got Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I've only just really started. What am I up to? Oh, I don't know. I've like literally, the pages are numbered. I've read 64 pages, so it's not much. So I could continue with that. Or I was also planning on starting this. So maybe I'll just start this. This is a shorter book anyway, Piranesi. I've been told that this is a book you shouldn't really know anything about. However, I've also had a few spoilers, so I know what it's about, but I'm not going to tell you. I will read what it says at the back. I don't know if that'll give anything away. I've heard in other wrap-up videos of what the book is all about, and it does sound interesting. Piranesi lives in the house. Perhaps he always has. Then messages begin to appear, scratched out in chalk on the pavements. There is someone new in the house, but who are they and what do they want? Lost texts must be found, secrets must be uncovered. The world that Piranesi thought he knew is becoming strange and dangerous. The beauty of the house is immeasurable, its kindness infinite. So I might start on this, or I may continue this. I might do both. I've got 24 hours after all. I have also got my Kindle here. I will start the timer or the clock or just whatever it is from when I pick up an actual book to read, and perhaps the audiobook can just be a bonus. Anyway, I feel like I'm making it a lot more difficult than it needs to be, and I'm just going to get started. So I had to come home because I needed the loo, and I'm sorry if it's TMI, but I just don't really like using public loos, and I try to avoid it as much as possible. I finished part 1 of Piranesi, and then I came home, and I don't know if I want to head back out, but because my girls are having a sleepover, it feels eerie at home, which makes no sense because on a usual school day, after I've dropped them to school, I will come home to an empty house and it will just be more peaceful and quiet. Whereas now I've dropped them, it just feels empty. And I think I was avoiding coming home because of that. So I did start on Piranesi and I was sitting outside enjoying it. I decided to sit next to the water fountains only because the sound of water I found really relaxing and therapeutic. It was a lovely morning, so why not? And it was very quiet. I'm still very self-conscious about filming in public, and I'm hoping the more I do it, the easier it becomes, or just the less uncomfortable. So I was doing that. I decided to read Piranesi, and I've only read part one, which is only I think around 20 pages, not even that, 17 pages. And I think for the majority of it, I was just frowning. I could feel myself just reading like that. And I like her style of writing. A lot of it, I was just, yeah, this is the best way I can sum up, like, what? But yeah, it's definitely left me wanting for more. I'm very intrigued. I did start listening to Carrie Soto, and is it Carrie Soto or The Return of Carrie Soto? I can't remember now. Carrie Soto is back, that's it. I've started listening to that, and again, immediately, I'm not shocked, I'm not surprised. It's my third book of Taylor Jenkins Reid, and all the previous two books of hers I listened to, and they had me hooked immediately, and this one has as well. I think what I'll do is I'll continue reading for a bit more at home. I feel if I did want to go back out now would be the right time. But also I feel like I'm just wasting time on trying to decide where. I'm half an hour, 32 minutes into reading, which doesn't say a lot about my reading speed. Considering I said it wasn't even 20 pages. I think the average is 1 page a minute. So I'm way below that average. And it's fine because as long as I'm enjoying the book, and I need to keep telling myself that it's more about enjoying the reading rather than how much I can get read. Having said that, I was hoping I could be at least on par with the average. Anyway, let's get back to it. I'm not even midway through the book, probably a third way through the book, and I can see why a lot of people are saying it's best not to know what the book is about. It's because you can't describe it. Well, I mean, I know I'm only a third way in. It's just I'm baffled, but I'm starting to create a theory in my head that might be fueled by what I previously knew about the book, but also I could be wrong. I'm enjoying it though. I would say the beginning of part 2, it was metaphors galore, which it was great for the world building, but I was getting a bit bored, I would say. But it's progressed a lot since then, and it's lunchtime and I don't want lunch. I literally just want to get through this book. So let's see. Like I said, I thought I was already halfway through and I'm not. I'm only a third, so I don't know if I'll finish it before lunch. I don't know, but I am enjoying it. I've got a few theories, but I don't want to stop to think about them. I just want to get through the book in a good way. I've just finished part 3 of the book, so I'm around halfway through, and all I'm going to say is it's just layers. There are layers upon layers to the story and to the characters, and it's just got my mind, I feel like I'm overthinking, and I can see why people say not to know anything about this book before going in. And it's not, I know previously I said it's because you can't describe it. You can, but the beauty I think in this book, part of the beauty in this book is just to not know. And I'm still unraveling, and I have some theories, but I do just want to really enjoy this book without overthinking it. But I'm hungry, so I have stopped for lunch, and then I will get back into the book. This pasta salad is so good, and it was so quick and easy to make. I literally made it last minute because I had no idea what to make. All I had to do was just boil some pasta and sweet corn, and the mixed beans I already had in the pantry, so definitely give it a go. I'm not one for recipes. If I can recall what I put in it, then I will try and leave the recipe somewhere. Oh, it's so good. Thing is, I'm trying to savor it as well as wolf it down so I can get back to reading. I have paused the reading. Like I said, I'm up to part 4, so I've read 122 pages of the book, and I have been reading for 3 hours and 23 minutes. I'm also trying to work out what I'll read for after this book. A few of my lists, I've got a couple of Ali Hazelwood books, which I've never read any of Ali Hazelwood just yet. So I think it's The Love Hypothesis. I may still read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I do want to get back to it because I've only just started it and I am enjoying it. I've also got Goddess of the River, and I've got part 2 of Iron Flame. So I listened to part 1, but since I've finished that, I've managed to get the book from the library. So I think maybe I'll read part 2 rather than listen to that as well. I don't know, or maybe I'll just listen to it. I'll see how I'm feeling. I'm just going to go with the mood. I have this really bad habit of overthinking and preempting the ending of a book or what direction it's going in, and I know a lot of people do this, but I find it really annoying. I just want to enjoy the book. Like I said, I don't want to think ahead. But if you're into the type of book that really plays with your mind, possibly in a good way, even though I said I'm getting annoyed, but yes, still in a good way, then yes, definitely. Well, I mean, I'm halfway through, so I can't say too much just yet. We'll see how I feel by the end of the book, but at the moment it is going in a good direction. You can probably tell from the lighting, it is now evening, well, early evening. I have finished Piranesi in 6 hours and 11 minutes, which seems like forever considering it's a book less than 300 words. I need time to process how I feel about this book, but thing that's immediately coming to mind is Fever Dream. That's my immediate thought, and the rest will come after I have had something to eat and time to process it. So I've got more leftovers for dinner. Just got some rice and some potato and aubergine curry, I guess you'd call it. Daringan sak or sabzi. I'm just gonna warm that up. I don't know if you can hear, that's the rain. So yeah, it started off as a gorgeous day. The thunderstorm was forecasted anyway, but it's just... to be honest, it sounds lovely. The more I'm thinking about Piranesi, I think for me it was a bit overhyped. I didn't dislike it, I just feel I enjoyed the beginning of the book and it had me gripped, but the ending was just a bit of a letdown for me. Will I say any more about it? I think the rest I'll just cover in my wrap up of the video, of the book. And yeah, so I'll have something to eat and then decide what I'm going to read next. So I've actually come up to my daughter's room and it seems like it's earlier in the day, but it's not. It's just better lighting. I've had dinner. I think I ate a bit too fast. But I have decided, so I had narrowed it down to either The Love Hypothesis, Goddess of the River, or part 2 of The Iron Flame. And I just thought with Piranesi being so very thought-provoking in your head, I need a bit of action, and so I think I'm going to try and finish off Iron Flame because I've only got part 2. I say I've only got part 2. I mean, it's a huge book, so even with part 2, yeah, you can see halfway through. So I've got half of that to read. So we'll see how far I get with that. Downstairs. It is the same day, I promise you. The storms have withered, I guess, and so the grey clouds have gone and it's daylight again. Welcome British weather. I do feel like I need to wash off my makeup now, so I possibly may go shower now as well. Then just see, I'm still feeling okay. I do think I'll need a cup of tea most likely within the next couple of hours, but we'll see. At the moment I'm feeling fresh and bright, maybe not fresh, alert. I'm still feeling alert, and yeah, I think just washing the makeup off and showering up will definitely help me feel a bit more awake. I'm all freshened up. You may not be able to hear me because the extractor fan is on with my mum cooking, but I am ready to get on with It's 10:30, which means I am halfway through, officially halfway through when I started. So 12 hours in, but I've only actually done around up to 9 hours of reading. 3 hours unaccounted for. That sounds like a lot, doesn't it? I am starting to feel a bit tired, even though it's only 10:30. I could have a cup of tea, maybe have some toast. The book is it's good. It is gripping, so I am enjoying it. It's helping to keep me awake. It's not one that I'm falling asleep to. There are, I'm at a point where some of it is, let's see, I can't, the thing is I don't annotate. I make mental notes and then I forget them. So I can't read the passage back to you. But I just felt like it felt a bit repetitive, and I thought, okay, I've heard along similar lines, and if I come across it again, then I'll try to make a note to read it back. So I did fall asleep. I really, really needed it. No regrets. What did I do? I think I read one more chapter of Iron Flame, and then I listened to Carrie Soto is Back, and I fell asleep to that. Nothing to do with the story itself. I genuinely just needed to sleep. So I had a few hours sleep, and I don't feel refreshed. I am still very, very tired, and I have no doubt that I am going to struggle with the rest of the day and the rest of the 20 hours. But hey ho, that's how it is. I don't know how anyone else does this. I am going to finish Iron Flame because I want to finish the book. Did it get better? Marginally? No, I'm afraid not. But I'm hoping it will.
Our hearts beat to the city streets. We began to feel the fire. We rise like tall buildings as the chemicals they take us higher. The night's young, it has just begun as she puts her hand in mine. We wanna chase the night, wanna dance to the light, pull the stars from the sky, just two hearts running wild. Never sleep, never stop. Every shot.
Or my father nods. Sí, estoy pensando. I wait for him to finish his thought. I start rolling my neck. My father says, Nikki's going to assume her best bet is to wear you out. Anyone playing me is going to sing that. I'm 37 years old. All you have to do is wear out the old lady. My dad laughs. You have no idea what it feels like to be old. In the grand scheme of things, Dad, sure, I time. But in tennis, counts. So the most important thing you can do for you right now is work on your stamina. Yes, agreed. So let's start with every day you run 10 miles. I haven't run 10 miles in a few years, but fine. And then we start doing balls, which is head, and then squats and sprints, plus jump rope for the footwork. I'm assuming that's what you do the most with Lars. Then you swim to further condition your muscles while keeping low impact. Then you can have
I've got myself ready and I feel a bit more fresh. I've had a look at the stopwatch and I've done almost 11 hours of reading, of actively reading, because I've been pausing it every time I've taken a break from reading itself. So I'm not even halfway there. And I'm pretty sure I won't get it done today because, well, I need to pick the kids up and I've just got other things to do. So it was meant to be 20 hours straight. I did say it possibly wouldn't be. I didn't think it'd go over 3 days, but it looks like it most likely will. However, the cookie crumbles, I guess. I've got my cup of tea, I've got some toast, and then I'm going to get back onto Fourth Wing. I think I've got around 200 pages of that left, maybe just under. And then yeah, it depends on how I feel after that. So it's between, I think the last book, yeah, because I don't think I'll fit any more in. Well, it depends, but I highly doubt I'll fit in a fourth book. But for the third book, it's between Goddess of the River, The Love Hypothesis, and Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I have started, but I think I've mentioned already, I think I'm only something like 60 pages in. I'm gonna have some breakfast now. Hopefully it fuels me in keeping me awake. I have got myself ready to just help deter me from falling asleep. We'll see how it goes. I do a quick time check. I am officially halfway through the 24 hours, and I guess it's really 2 hours, under 2 hours since I originally started. So yeah, gosh, that's just crazy. But anyway, yeah, halfway through and the book has started getting good again. So I'm hoping it stays that way because there was a big dip. I just found a lot of repetition. And yeah, I was getting very bored, but it's getting good again. Hopefully it stays that way. I wasn't expecting to cry again. I felt so silly crying in Fourth Wing, and I didn't think it'd happen again. I feel so silly. I haven't finished. I almost have. If like me, you get quite emotional, which I didn't think I did. If you do, then just be prepared is all I'm gonna say. I'm past, like, I think the story's moved past the sad bit. But I don't feel like reading anymore. I think maybe I need to eat as well. I just wasn't expecting this. I think I'm down to the last 5 pages. So I'll read them and then update you. Right, so finally finished Iron Flame. I'm smiling now. Obviously, no, a chapter ago I wasn't. I've enjoyed it. It's definitely been a bit of a roller coaster. Not necessarily with, well, yes, with emotions, but not necessarily as in I did cry, but I wasn't really on the other end of the spectrum in terms of emotions. I wouldn't say like I felt really happy or excited. There were parts where it was gripping, not completely, but I was still invested up until that point where I was crying. It didn't feel too high stakes to me, and I feel like it should have, but I think a lot of that was because it was so repetitive. It's a very, very big book, and not as much goes on. Like, yes, stuff happens, but not for it to be this long. I think it didn't need to be this long. I definitely prefer the first book. I am looking forward to the third book. Yeah, I didn't love it. I liked it. I'd probably say I'm on the fence, possibly a 3.5, but I will mull over it, sleep on it, and see how I feel about it after that. I'm hungry. It's way past lunchtime. The book took me a lot longer than I thought it would to finish, so I'm going to have something to eat, and then I think I'm almost at 18 hours, so not long to go now. I probably will just get one final book in, so yeah, I'll eat and then decide what the final book's going to be. Up, and I have decided that I am going to read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies for my last book. I say the last book because I honestly don't even know if I'll finish this within the 24-hour time frame, but if I do, I don't think I'll get any others finished. So that's the last one. I am listening to Carrie Soto's back as well. I haven't been timing it. I just have it on in the background where I'm doing stuff where I can't be reading, so I don't know if I'll include that or not, but yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this. I've also got the sequel to this, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of the Other Lands, so we'll see how you go. But no, I mean, I definitely don't see me fitting that in. I did also mention I'm around just under 18 hours. I have another 6 hours to go. I don't think I'll fit them in today. If I really wanted to, and I made myself a coffee, which I prepared for an iced coffee earlier, but I don't know if I want to because I'll probably be up all night. and I've got a leaving due to go to tomorrow, so I don't know, I'll see how I feel about that. Yeah, let's get tapped into this. It's been a few days since I finished the 24-hour reading challenge, but I realised I forgot to do an outro, mainly because I was absolutely shattered by the end of it and so tired. Books that I managed to read over the 24 hours were Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I absolutely adored. Piranesi, which I still don't know how I feel about just yet. I didn't love it or hate it. I just don't. I can't put it into words right now how I feel about that book. I've got loads of questions, and until I maybe get some answers for them, I don't know. I just don't know, which I've said I think 4 or 5 times now, sorry. Iron Flame, which I managed to finish, and again I enjoyed it. I didn't like it, did I? I did enjoy it. No, I wouldn't say I didn't like it as much as Fourth Wing, but I did really enjoy it. And Harry Soto is back, which again, did I love it? I think I love Taylor Jenkins Reid's way of writing. I love it. Her storytelling. I think she is an amazing writer in that books feel very movie-like. I love the way she writes her characters. With Carrie Soto, it's a book about tennis, which I just didn't think. I'm not much of a tennis lover. I don't watch tennis. I don't play tennis. I did enjoy playing it when I was back at school, but it's not something, I don't feel passionately towards tennis, but this book, I think, is just the kind of story I think anyone could enjoy. And finally, I got started on the Shiva trilogy. So the first book, which is The Immortals of Melua, which the story, as much as I've read, I have enjoyed, but not the writing itself. I'll go into detail when I review the whole book. How many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I read 4 books. Did I read 4? I didn't finish Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies within 24 hours. I finished it now, but not within the 24 hours. So I'd say I read 3 books and I started another 2. And I think I can quite definitely say that I will not be embarking on another 24-hour challenge, 24-hour reading challenge, at least not a straight one, because it did nothing for me. Nothing at all. It wasn't one of those adrenaline rush challenges or anything. If you enjoy doing it, I'm happy for you, but it's definitely not something that I like reading. I enjoy reading, and this ended up making it feel not like a chore, but I wanted my sleep, and I could feel that I wanted to sleep, and I thought, no, well, I could if I really wanted to fit in another chapter, not because I want to fit in the chapter, but because of the challenge. So for that reason, I won't be doing it again. I am still open to more reading challenges, but not one in which I have to forsake my lovely, much loved sleep. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching my sleep deprived 24-hour reading challenge, and I would love for you to subscribe if you like this kind of content, and have a lovely day. Bye.